Advertising works. That's why a 30-second commercial on Super Bowl Sunday costs almost $3 million. As a coach, you are your athlete's advertising campaign. You're their commercial. You're affirming what they're capable of and where they can go. You have that great deal of power to shape the direction of their career. But it takes skill to lead and to use that power to impact athletes. You'll now hear elite coaches discuss how they've perfected the skill of supporting their athletes with the words they say.
There are no two individuals alike. You have to learn the idiosyncrasies and the little things that make that person tick. Certainly you'll have ground rules that pertain to everybody, but to really be successful, you have to know that person. That means you have to know the person on the athletic field, in the classroom, in life, in social functions, and also when they're under adversity, and see how they react.
Some of the characteristics that have allowed me to excel in being able to work with athletes and develop high levels of speed, regardless of the sport, is first of all, developing the relationship with the athlete. Second of all, meticulous attention to detail. Third, applying scientific principles to the training. And fourth, developing the trust of the athlete to be able to do the kind of training that's necessary. And in some situations, when you're taking on an athlete that you've never worked before and they've been a professional for 10 years, some of the things that we do looks like it came from outer space. And for them to buy into the system, sometimes they have to, just not buy in all the time, but they'll go in and they'll come on board. But then when they see that and they feel their body's really beginning to work, that's when you've got an athlete that can continue to improve and continue to move forward.
Oh, they do it all the time without realizing it. Just the way they talk to them, the words they choose to talk to them with, whether negative or positive. I think every player is looking for a coach to be positive to them, a pat on the back, if you will, and just certain key words, such as "I can" or "I think I can" is a totally big word when you're talking about trying to get over the hump and get over the mountain to achieve something. If you believe you can, there's a great chance you will, rather than if you think you can, that puts doubt in your mind.
I think that the one way, the most important way that coaches impact the performance of the players is strictly instilling discipline. And that starts in the preparation. And I know I keep going back to preparation, but that's where athletes are built. I've got a philosophy that I like to build the athlete from the ground up, and that ends with the head. And I think that the most important thing is the last thing prior to walking into a competition, is that to make sure their head's right. I've always said, get your mind right and your body will follow. We've taken care of the ground up all the way to the head. Prior to competition, if your mind's not right, you will not have success. Your mind must be in a good place. The preparation is done. The competition is now here. So I think coaches can impact the routine of a player. They need to obviously teach them the X's and the O's, but at the end of the day, the biggest responsibility for a coach is get the player's mind right.
One of the things I've noticed in working with some of the top coaches in sports is that they seem to have a focus that's much less on the result and much more on the process. No matter what the win and loss columns say, a coach must find what works for the athlete.